After several years, we have returned to the world of Hyrule we were introduced to with the launch of the Switch. Not since the GameCube have we had the chance to experience 2 original Zelda adventures on the one system, and it's been even longer since we've had a direct sequel. It's definitely been a while since I set foot in the kingdom myself, and that time has brought on some hindsight for our 2017 Game of the Year. We open up on Link and Zelda investigating deep beneath Hyrule Castle following the events of the previous game. 10 minutes later, and Link has had all his stats zapped away, he's awoken in a cave, and Zelda is missing once again. This time, however, you have found yourself high above the clouds. You learn about the ancient Zonar civilization, along with a brand new arm that unlocks a whole new set of rune powers. Alas, the days of magnesis, square bombs, and stasis are over, as we're introduced to a brand new mechanic of Zonar devices that basically turn your adventure into a giant build-your-own toy. The new runes include Ultra Hand, which replace magnesis, but with the ability of combining objects together. You can do something as basic as a log raft or build your own flying machine. Unfortunately, as we'll discuss later, this mechanic really is a double-edged sword. Fuse is another ability that can let your imagination run wild, allowing your sword and shield to add virtually any other item to the end of it. Take a sword, put a rock to the end of it, and you have an ore-smashing weapon, or add a Zonar flamethrower to your shield to unleash all amounts of damage. Other runes like Recall and Ascend can really help in navigation, with Ascend basically allowing Link to no-clip through ceilings, and Recall used to rewind an object's path. The first few hours of Tears brought back many memories of the first time playing Breath, the crazy amounts of death from freezing, drowning, and of course the one-hit kills. We were spending a good hour or two just trying to figure out how to return to an early point for our objective. We were only able to progress because we stumbled on a set of floating wings. The introduction of Zonar artifacts is the major selling point. These new devices are what really sets this game apart from Breath of the Wild, but it's also the most frustrating. Utilizing many different components, you can make any number of contraptions, with many of the brand new shrines requiring you to really think outside the box to accomplish them. The amount of different parts is really varied, with wheels, fans, and even components like hydrants and Woombas. The problem is it can be really finicky and tedious building what you want, and then there is the issue of success rates. When it works, but when it doesn't, it really doesn't work. Beyond the new Zonar abilities, the core gameplay really hasn't changed much from several years ago, for better or worse. You still can't even pet the dogs, for Christ. The most polarizing part has been weapon degradation. Several years ago, we actually stated that we didn't find the feature all that frustrating, but several years is a long time, and coming back to swords breaking all the time, especially after fusing it with a powerful add-on, is really outwearing its welcome. That being said, there is something still just magical about the size and scope of the world. Even if you spent hundreds of hours in the previous title, the amount of new things to discover as you traverse the world is simply staggering. Heading off in any direction will have you finding numerous shrines, caves, and other oddities to discover, where soon enough you're on a completely different trek. Plus, the new areas high above the clouds just mean more places to explore and to find all the hidden secrets. There is, however, one other aspect from Breath that has been vastly improved, and that is the dungeons. Last time around, they were substituted with the Divine Beasts, but thankfully we have been given actual sprawling and thought-provoking dungeons this time. We've only been able to explore through a few at time of writing, and while they all have the basic concept of accompanying that region's champion and unlocking several mechanisms before a boss fight, each one has been given its own unique way of traversing and solving its puzzles. Tears of the Kingdom is a valiant effort to an almost impossible feat, to release a new Zelda game that isn't just Breath of the Wild all over again. The new fusing and building mechanics are ambitious, but the requirements and construction strip away some of that free exploration the first game was famous for. Zelda as a franchise will never stop innovating and trying new things, and while not every idea will work out, there will always be something that will keep you coming back.